30-second warning. 10, 20, 30. Call to order the work session for the Mayor and City Council meeting on Wednesday, September 4th, 2019. I'd like to welcome back my council colleagues and the mayor after our summer break, but I hope it was a very productive month of August for you. First item on the agenda is employee benefit insurance. Ms. Woods.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm here to present the employee benefit insurance for November 1st, 2019 through October 31st, 2020. With the help of Meltzer Group, we went out to bid for the health and dental insurance. I come back at an 8% increase. We were able to do some more bidding out, and we got the increase down to 1.98% for the health and the dental. The dental insurance recommend that we move to Cigna because Aetna come in at 14.9%, and so the insurance, the dental went down to 1.98%. Questions?
Council, any questions, comments? I'll start with Councilwoman Nicholas.
Well, I first heard you say that it was initially at 8%.
Yes.
So getting it down to 1.98 was very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Councilman Sidnor.
And congratulations, good job. Proud of
Thank
y'all
you.
for doing that. So.
Thank you.
Councilman DeWalt.
No questions.
Councilman Les. Mr. President. I just have one question, and maybe it's something I overlooked. But this includes family also? Or is
Yes, it's employee plus one, and then for family coverage, and
Okay.
also for dental, employee plus one, and family, and also for the vision, which is an elective for the employee to take.
I'm sorry, what was that?
An elective for the employee to take. Vision. The
I
vision.
gotcha.
The vision.
Okay, vision. I
Yes.
gotcha. Okay. All right, thank you. I'm fine. Mayor?
Lisa, thank you for your work. I just wanted to make sure when we do Monday night that we do specify just what was brought up here, that it's who it's for.
Okay.
I think that's important for anybody that may be watching. Also, although you got it reduced, it still meets the needs of the employees.
Okay.
I think that's important as
Okay.
well. So
Okay.
thank you for all your work. And
Okay.
I think the broker really does help us
Yes.
quite a bit.
Yes, they do. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Agenda item 2 is purchase of police in-car camera systems. Mr. Frost.
Good evening, Mr. President, Mayor, and council members. Before you is a recommendation to purchase Axon in-car camera system for the 6 Explorers that you approved at your last council meeting. We talked about Axon as far as in the beginning of the summer, we approved the Axon evidence or the investigation rooms. We're moving to Axon, and we are using the Axon body cameras, and we want to now move to the Axon in-car cameras. These cameras they're cloud, they go to the cloud. Our current camera system is the Panasonic Arbitrator. That is stored by us on site. These cameras will leave the car and go immediately to the cloud, and then they use evidence.com, just like we do with our body cameras, and our investigation room, the interview rooms. It'll all be in one location. So we're looking to get the 6 now for the new Explorers. The very cool part about this system is it will link with the body camera, and it will also link with other vehicles. So if we have an incident, we have a car pull up, that car will immediately link. If we have two other cars on site, that camera will immediately link to the two officers' body cameras. So as a result, when the incident gets recreated on video, all that will be in real time. You will see their positions, and all the cameras sync up in evidence.com. It's a very cool feature, and I think it's where we want to head, and I think it's going to make our officers a lot safer. The system itself is probably about half the cost, hardware-wise, of the Panasonic Arbitrator, but we have the annual evidence.com cost, which is the where it's stored in the cloud, and it's got a very powerful software for the officers and the investigators to view the videos. So the initial upfront cost for the purchase of the 6 cameras is about $19,000. And for the 1 year for those 6 cameras, it's $9,000, which puts us, and you also got to remember with Axon, they want you in a 5-year contract, which we are fine with. So when you take the 9 times 5 out, plus the cost of the cameras and the install, then it takes us over 50 over the 5 years for those 6 cameras. So that's where we are. Axon is on the state contract. They're on the 2012 hardware contract. So we're going to recommend that you approve the purchase of the Axon camera systems for the new Explorer fleet. We'll be putting it to service probably in the next 2 to 3 months.
Thank you, Mr. Frost. Questions, comments? We'll start with Councilman DeWalt.
I have a couple questions. Mr. Frost, do you know who's going to be assigned these 6 vehicles?
I do not.
If these are going to command staff personnel, then
Well, these will not go to command staff personnel.
they're not?
They will not have in-car cameras if command.
All right, that's
Command
what I
staff.
was wondering, because
No.
I was wondering that would be a waste of
No, the command
waste
staff
of a
does not
lot
have
of
in-car camera
technology.
systems, and they do not have computers either.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman DeWalt. Councilman Sidnor.
No questions, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Nicholas.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to say that, just looking at this and all of your calculations, I'm all for anything that's going to support and increase the safety of our officers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Les.
Mr. President.
Mr. Frost, I'm just curious to know how the dollar amount here, $57,000, meets with our city purchasing policy.
Well, the dollar amount exceeds the $35,000, so that's why it's coming to council.
Got it.
The fact that it is on the state contract allows us to we sole source to the state contract, and that is in our procurement policy, and it's allowed. And most jurisdictions do that. It allows the state to go out and do the RFP and do the bid, and then they get put on a state contract, and we have the advantage of it.
Excellent. And I think it should be pointed out, Councilwoman Nicholas mentioned that it's a safety tool for our police officers, but it's also a benefit to our citizens also, or anyone that is.
The cameras
And I
protect
think,
both sides.
as you described, the linking of more than one camera, I think adds a point of view that really would enhance any kind of viewing of it. I have a question regarding the video. Is the video edited in any way? Any of the video?
No.
It's raw. It's just as it's shot. I thought not, but I think that it's important to kind of get it on record that it's not in any way tampered with or edited or anything.
Correct. They can't go in. They cannot tamper with the video.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm all for it.
And, the chief's here. I don't know if the chief wants to.
First off, good evening. Thanks for considering this. This really goes towards what we've discussed in the past,
that going to that full Axon platform. Panasonics have outlived their usefulness. Plus, where we go with this Axon platform is eventually it's going to be where if I pull my gun, all of our cameras will come on. If I pull my taser, all of our cameras will come on. As cruisers, they all interact together and give us then, where we have this two-dimensional view now through, say, my camera and your camera, it gives us a better view from all the cameras and collating it together. And answering your question about the video cannot be tampered with, of course, when we get Freedom of Information Act requests, we have to redact certain things from it. We're able to do that, but its initial inception, that doesn't occur. It goes in raw. So safety of the officers, transparency for the department to better connect with the community, for us to be able to show the community, this is what we do, this is how we do it. These are the right steps for this organization to be taking. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Sidnor. Chief?
I have a question at first, but since you brought it back up, like, as soon as the officers show up on the scene, like, what's the distance that the camera will link with his, the cruiser show up and the body camera, what's...
That's down the road, but when that happens, my recollection was it was a pretty big distance that anybody that would possibly be on the call. What it does is if I forget to turn my camera on, it comes on.
So wouldn't it be like, probably ask the same question though, the officer's just coming on the scene, he haven't got out of his car yet, it wouldn't link up until he actually get out of his car?
No, I think it comes on prior to that as they get closer to the scene. Yeah. And remember, there's a 30-second buffer, which we can actually adjust to go as far back as 3 minutes. The problem is that gets cost prohibitive because you have to store all that, and that's where the cost arrives at. But by that 30-second buffer, once it comes on, it captures the 30 prior seconds of video, not audio.
Okay.
Won't be any audio.
So that's about 30 yards, 40 yards, not that far.
My recollection was like as far back as a block. I could be wrong, but I thought my recollection was as far back as a block.
Okay. All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
So, Council, we're ready to move forward with this at our meeting Monday night? Great. That concludes our agenda. Before we, after I adjourn, we would break to an executive session for about 5 minutes to discuss a legal matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna, Mr. President, sorry to take you all by surprise, but it was probably about 5 o'clock when I received an email, and I know that Larry has been in court today, so we'd like to brief the council real quick on this, so you're not taken by surprise. Okay. And it would be to consult with legal counsel. Kim, do you have that by chance, the legal counsel?
I have a copy of one the Board of Elections used today. So what we can do is edit it.
Okay.
For the president. But if you would, sorry, Mr. Smalls, the president, if you would just read this and then sign it, and then I'll finalize it tomorrow.
Okay, I am going to read the statement regarding closed session. The following statement is made regarding the adjournment of the Mayor and City Council to closed session on Wednesday, September 4th, 2019. The reason for adjourning the closed session is to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. The authority for this closed session is contained in the general provision article subsection 3-305, sections B, section 7.
Be Larry and both Lisa and Michelle are there.
Following the executive session or closed session, I will come back out and adjourn. Yep. Need a motion to move to executive session.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Leds. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilwoman Nicholas. All in favor?
This
is Ralph Laurel. Yeah, I'm trying to move this.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas? Mr. DeWalt?
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor?
Yes.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
President
Twice.
Smalls?
Yes.
Sorry.
No.